high school sports fans. Are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
From Christ the King High School in Middle Village, Queens, Varsity Media Sports Network presents the Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens Championship, featuring the third-seeded Clippers of Xaverian High School and the top-seeded Lady Royals of Christ the King. Well, we welcome you here courtside. Dylan Butler alongside John Perez, a terrific Archdiocese championship game we just had. Congratulations to St. Joe's C for their first ever Tier 1 championship. And Xaverian, the visitor here today, also looking for their first Brooklyn Queens championship, and Christ the King looking for their 30th. It is really a contrast in programs, the incredible unmatched rich history that is at Christ the King. And listen, girls are relatively new at Xaverian. So this whole thing right now, and the success has come right away for the Clippers.
Yeah, it's a David versus Goliath story 100% when it comes to Xaverian. And, you know, Dylan, this was a team that got to the final only a couple of years ago after only having one group of graduating seniors. Yeah. And then, of course, you throw COVID in there. And that's just the job that the Xaverian coaching staff has done, and Mark Spellman specifically. He's cultivated a culture that was extended from the boys' side when they created a girls' program that really elevated them to the next level, wanted to bring in a few things, and they've done nothing but win over these last 7 years, and it's really a testament to him and the rest of the coaching staff. And meanwhile, for Christ the King, I mean, hey, what more can you say? The best high school girls team in the nation.
Let's take a look at the bracket here and how these two teams reached this championship final. See Xaverian, a tougher road to hoe, beating a tough McClancy side by 10. And then Nazareth, another team that has made a name these past probably, 15, 20 years as one of the top girls programs around. A 3-point win in that all-Brooklyn battle to get here to the championship game against Christ the King. Now, it's David versus Goliath, but when you look at Xaverian, they're a team that somewhere in the huddle or in the trip from Bay Ridge today, the conversation was, we can do this because we have done this. They beat Christ the King in their last meeting at home in overtime, so they got to have a little good feeling about themselves coming into this one.
Yeah, and Dylan, the one thing that you left out is not only did they do it, they did it recently.
Yeah.
Just a couple of weeks ago, so that feeling is still fresh. Now it's just a matter of making adjustments in a championship game, setting the last game of the day. But seeing is believing. When you manifest these opportunities, you're able to vanquish that, and you're able to put yourself in a position to win. Xaverian has that tonight.
Let's take a look at the Clippers players to watch, or their impact players here. Number 42, Grace Lanier, the junior. She was a Tier 1 All-League second-team player. She is a 3-year All-League selection. She's been a starter since her freshman year. And you know what? So has Alex Carbonero. So these are two players who have forged a reputation from a very young age of being excellent basketball players.
100%. Let's start with Lanier. Like you said, all 3 years part of the league, really drives the offense and leads the defense as well. A fantastic two-way player. Meanwhile, for Alex Carbonaro, she's just one of the best athletes in the school. And when you're a great athlete, that means you could do anything. She could shoot, she could rebound, she could pass. She's got great instincts. everything on the table for Carbonaro.
And they both average 15 points per game. For the Royals, they have been royalty here this season, as they often are. 23-3 on this season. And when we speak with Bob Mackey, the head coach, said those 3 losses, we were right there. None of those losses were blowouts. They could have, perhaps should have won those games. And they've got an excellent duo we're going to take a look at right now. And in Olivia Vukosa, yes, she is a Tier 1 first-team All-League player. But also, when you look at her nationally, yeah, one of the best around. Number 2 in the country by ESPN in the class of 2026.
So what you're saying is she's also a Tier 1 player as well, which she brings to the table, and she's going to have the size advantage today for the Royals.
We'll take a look as both teams get ready to go to their huddles quickly, John, as we spoke with the 2 head coaches. We take a look at the keys to the game for both of these teams.
Yeah, when it comes to Xaverian, you're going to have to rebound. Plain and simple, especially when you got Vukosa down low, because she gives Christ the King so many second chance possessions. Get out in transition, speed up Christ the King, and stay out of foul trouble. When you're in foul trouble, that trouble is punctuated with a capital T. Christ the King does a great job holding on to the ball, defensive rebounding, and of course they can't get into foul trouble either.
It's Xaverian and Christ the King, Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens Championship coming up on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life, and now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level.
We welcome you back here to Christ the King High School in Middle Village, Queens. The code of conduct being announced to the teams, to the crowd here. And we'll get the player introductions coming up here. Dylan Butler, John Perez, our entire Varsity Media crew for the Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens Championship. First, the starters for Xaverian, who come in at a 17-9 record.
You know, you take a look at Layla Sierra, who started off, someone who does a lot of the dirty work. This is the team that, like we said, is still pretty young when it comes to a Callie Mullen. Of course, if Mullen goes to Xaverian, that's just how it is. But we mentioned Lanier Carbonaro. I am fascinated to see the play out of Justina Fideli in person, too. Someone who does the dirty work, similar to Layla Duggan, spends a lot of time out on the floor, can piece together the offense and the defense. She's a fun player to watch. You'll see, number 24 in midnight blue, navy blue, and gold.
I think it's almost midnight, so I think it is.
Yeah.
So it's a good look at the Xaverian starters, and now it'll be the Royals from Christ the King, 23-3, and yeah, they are still that team, and a terrific starting five for them as well.
Yeah, they're always going to be that team because they give themselves a chance. And what's good about them is it's always the hottest players at the right time, right? So Mackey's always going to play the hot hand, and what it's been outside of Culver and Vukosa, Skyla Kemp, along with Ariel Lopez and Velasquez, and Ariel, only a freshman. Doing a good job getting up and down the floor. You know, she's someone that could shoot from anywhere. And I think Mackey has said he can't remember the last time that a freshman has had the season that she's having. So keep an eye on her today. And, of course, Culver, the senior leader, really improved her shot over the offseason. She could light it up.
Yeah, Culver averaging 14.6 a game, 5 assists as well, 3.2 steals. So you have to keep an eye out for Culver defensively as well here as a final huddle. You see the look in there. See assistant coach Joe DeLuca, Bob Mackey, the longtime head coach, 23rd year at the helm for Bob Mackey, a 1981 graduate of Xavier. I don't think I ever asked Bob Mackey before our conversation this week what high school he went to. And I wouldn't have guessed Xavier except remembering, oh yeah, you're a Rockaway guy. So how many of those guys make that trip to Xavier?
Lowercase J journalism there, Dylan. You've known him forever.
And there's a look at the Xaverian huddle, and in the sweater vest, as any good Xaverian head coach will do, it's Mark Spellman, a Xaverian guy, class of 92, 5th season at the helm. A lifer and a longtime coach as well. Spent 12 years in multiple roles with the boys teams, including the former head coach of the boys, Jack Alisi, was his assistant. Also from Staten Island, so he followed Alisi in multiple ways, as that tip was uncontested. So it is Christ the King Bowl to start.
For the time being, Spellman still has his moss.
Once upon a time, coached the Xaverian freshman boys to a city championship. Said he put so much pressure on himself to win that. The feeling after wasn't even joy. It was just kind of relief. Good defense by Xaverian. The takeover. Speeding to the hoop at 100 miles an hour was Carbonaro.
Yeah, she can really get into fourth gear, and that's what Xaverian wants to do. They want to speed up Christ the King, and there might not be a faster player on the court than Carbonaro.
Transition offense, as we mentioned in the keys, so critical for the Clippers today, because that means that Vicosa, clearly, right, the largest player on the court by a mile, doesn't get a chance to get herself set defensively and be that force inside.
But yes, 100%. Now, that's something that you want to keep an eye on. The good thing, though, about Vicosa is that she's so agile. She's fast as well. So offensively, she can get up and down the floor. But you're right. You want her to get set defensively.
Here's Callie Mullen. Kicks it back out to Layla Sierra. 5'11", swing. And this is what Xaverian wants to do. You want to pull Vicosa out. They tried to tuck it under. Good hands defensively, though, by Culver.
But you know what, Dylan? You still got some good size outside of Vicosa. Now, of course, she's only the only 6-footer on the floor, but Skyla Kemp has some size, as well as Maya Velasquez.
Corner three, good. Buckets by Lanier.
You know, Lanier is somebody who could play both ends of the floor, but really improved her off-the-dribble shot this past year and getting open and sinking threes, and on full display, a 5-0 lead for the Clippers.
Well, you mentioned a moment ago Velasquez. That was her on the ball. And it goes back out to Ariel Lopez, the freshman, guarded by Mullen. 3 on the shot clock. The dish down low, and the layup beats the shot clock buzzer by Velasquez.
Yeah, good pass by Culver, and Velasquez might have had a nanosecond to hoist.
Here's Lanier. Carbonara again rejected by Vicosa. Loose ball goes to Christ the King, and they look to attack. Kemp, layup, no good, but she's fouled by Mullen.
Good job driving to the basket by Kemp, someone who could get down the floor in her own right as well. And Kemp just someone who spent every day of the offseason getting into shape, and a good contributor off the bench at the beginning of the year, playing herself into the starting lineup, and brings a lot as a junior.
Intelligence as well, not only on the court but in the classroom as well. Very, very good grades. She goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here's Lanier. This will be a battle of the sweater vest head coaches. Carbonara tried to swing it down low. The It took a deflection on the way there, but it stays with the Clippers. I favor Mackey's Argyle in the sweater vest battle.
Oh, yeah. Why, that was a debate?
No. I'm just saying. Lanier from 3. Back rim, no good. Vacosa. She almost doesn't have to jump for it at 6'4", but still got up and got the rebounds. Here's Culver. Drives, a lot of contact, and she is called for the charge. Carbonaro drew it.
Yeah, good job by Culver to set her feet, draw the charge, and we got our first sub of the evening as Amanda Smith, the senior, comes in for the freshman.
And there's Lanier over midcourt. Gets it inside to Mullen. Back out to Lanier. Splits the defense. That's a 3 ball. Off the mark, Vacosa gets the rebounds. Already, at least, we're not keeping the number, but at least her 3rd rebound.
Well, as a Xaverian team that could shoot, you know, the new adage now is if you get an offensive rebound, put up a 3. And so by doing that, you're limiting second chance shots for Xaverian.
Corner jumper, Kemp off the mark. Here's Carbonaro who comes away with it. Man, it just looks like she does everything at full speed. A little bit too strong on that layup attempt. Here comes Velasquez the other way, guarded by Mullen. And she'll kick it back out, and Culver will get the half-court offense going. There's the handoff to Smith. Dials it up from downtown, no good. Carbonaro the rebound. Lanier ahead of the field. High off the glass, no good. Rebound tracked down by Sierra. Any offensive rebound for Xaverian is a really good one. Lanier! Count it!
Yeah, it's even better when you score, especially Lanier. So athletic, getting to the basket, following the play. Couldn't have drawn up a better start for Xaverian. We'll take another look as starts with this offensive rebound and then Lanier. Oh, the right amount of English.
And Lanier goes both ends of the court. Tenacious on-ball defender. Really athletic as well. Can get into the paint. Finishes her three-point play there. And she's got 6 of the Clippers' 8 early points. If it's a battle of depth, the edge will go to Christ the King. They go a little bit deeper than Mark Spellman does. Trying to get high-low to Vacosa. She finally gets her hands on the ball, but it's knocked away by Lanier. Traveling violation first. And you saw the way they were looking to defend her in the post, high-low. They front her as well.
Yeah, you have to muck it up against her, too. You can't let her get comfortable.
There's Carbonaro with the ball now. And hang on a second.
Yeah, she's had a bloody lip for a few minutes now, and I'm surprised nobody picked up on it. But now it's just really apparent.
So she will exit for Isabella Grimaldi.
That's pretty good gamesmanship, too, by Christ the King. Noticing it and then gets right in front of the bench. And you
Listen, I'm surprised Bob Mackey doesn't leave his bench to go and try to help her out. That's what he does. He tapes ankles. He stops.
Well, Dill, it is game time, too. It's really funny because there's 2 types of Bob Mackeys. There's the helpful, giving, philanthropic guy, and then there's the competitor. And those 2 really don't meet that often.
Lanier outside. 3-point shot. Back rim, no good. And the rebound is pulled down as the Royals come away with it. Really like these jerseys as well for Christ the King. Looks like the squares on the side, kind of Maryland-esque.
Well, you know what it is. They couldn't get the exact diamonds of the sweater that Mackey has, so it's got to be as close. There you see on the side.
Fouled by Mullen, her second already.
I'm sure Mackey has a
collection?
checkered. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a checkered sweater.
Like he goes into that walk-in closet of his out in Smithtown, and there's a whole bunch of Argyle sweaters in there. There's a runner in the lane. Nice looking shot by Josie Pinnock.
You know, Pinnock, a player, I know it's early in the game, but she's a player that can come off the bench and knows when to make the right play and knows when to make a big play, and a good job to get herself involved early on.
And Christ the King head coach / athletic director Bob Mackey will call a 30-second timeout. This winter, Varsity Media is proud to announce our partnership with Gipper, the #1 social media content creation platform for athletic programs. Thousands of the best social media sports graphic templates, social media automation, AI-powered one-click background removal, mobile app for easy content creation on the go. To learn more, visit www.gipper.com. Dylan Butler, John Perez, our entire Varsity Media crew here with you in Middle Village, Queens. It is Championship Sunday in the CHSAA. We are up to the finale, the Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens Championship. And it is Christ the King and Xaverian doing battle. Here's Culver. Into the corner to Alyssa Hines. Loose ball. Look at Carbonara back in the game. Must have a good cut man in the corner there for Xaverian. Jump ball goes to the Lady Royals. And there's Pinnock, also a freshman. It's got to be one of the younger teams that Bob Mackey has coached. An illegal screen was set, and look at this. 2 early ones for Vukosa. That's the way you neutralize a 6'4" center.
Mackey's going to keep her in, too. You know what? Sometimes that just happens, Dylan. You get the turnover of the roster, so you still have a younger team, but Christ the King still playing up to the standard that they usually do play up, regardless of the age, which just goes to show a testament to the program that this has been over the last 40 years.
Here's Lanier. 8 on the shot clock. They got to get something here. 3 on the shot clock. Good defense by CK. That's a 3 at the buzzer. No good. Vukosa rips it down. Quick outlet pass to Culver. And then an extra step taken by Amanda Smith.
Yeah, just not establishing that pivot foot. Called for happy feet. And
Velasquez comes back in the game, replacing Smith. And here's Lanier. The first year, as you mentioned, was 2016 for girls at Xaverian. It was before that an all-boys school. There's a look underneath, and which way are we going? Oh, they're going to call a foul. No. I think this is for the shot clock. We're making 15 seconds on the shot clock. In that initial class, that 2016, they were all freshmen who entered the school. 4 years later, they were in a city championship game losing to St. Francis Prep. And that was a team Mark Spellman, their head coach, said really did so much to set that culture. He's a big culture guy, and that early group did just that. Baseline and a foul called, and who is it against? Vukosa was there, and no, it'll be against 14, Alyssa Hines.
almost a punch to the gut if that would have been the 3rd foul on Vukosa. You're right, though, when it comes to Xaverian, and I think that's why Mark Spellman is a great guy to have for your program and building a program, and he comes with a wealth of experience. And at the end of the day, it's basketball. It's basketball. These players understand. They all compete. And so it's just a matter of living up to the excellence of the boys program, but building your own identity as well. And a win tonight would certainly do many favors for Clipper Nation.
Yeah, they went to the finals that year, that 2020. They've been to the city finals twice. Last year they lost to Scanlon, a team that we just saw compete in the Archdiocese Championship. Nice cut to the hoop by Culver for 2.
Yeah, she just does a good job running the floor without the ball. And a quick hitter. Nice catch, shoot, bucket.
The idea here is to get the ball to Lanier if they can. An extra step taken by Carbonaro. So here comes Culver, final 30 seconds of this first quarter. It's the Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens championship game. Velasquez comes out to set the screen. Culver, a runner in the lane, it's good.
Nice job with the offhand for Culver. Starting to heat up.
She's got 4 points in the first quarter, 10-9 game. Good defense, Vacosa the steal, quick outlet. That's caught by Pinnock. Pinnock beats the buzzer.
What a fantastic catch by Pinnock in stride, going right to the basket. And you know, Pinnock, a player that just brings so much to the table for Christ the King and gets the bucket. We'll take another look. Vacosa throws it into a tight window, but Pinnock in stride. And a veteran presence, seeing the timeline down and beating the buzzer.
Christ the King 1 point lead here in the Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens championship game. You're watching it on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Christ the King High School, Middle Village, Queens. Dylan Butler, John Perez, our entire Varsity Media crew. First quarter in the books here of this Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens championship game. And the Royals with an 11-10 lead. Mullen back in the game. Hands off to Lanier.
Do you think Mullen asked for 20 and they said no? And she had to get permission from her uncle, who also probably said no?
Foul off the ball, and that on number 4, Josie Pinnock, her first. I will let the folks know at home, before we came on air, you were looking to identify Mullen, and she was in that spot, and she knocked down a 3 in the corner. Now, we didn't see their numbers at the time, but I said, yeah, I think that's her.
Yeah.
Foul called on Carbonaro. Now, the relation is Chris Mullen is the uncle, and Chris's brother, Terrence, a really good player in his own right. As we'll have another stoppage. I'm going to, again, check on Carbonaro. And she is good. But Terrence is Callie's dad. And yeah, she has some Mullen attributes. Certainly the ability to shoot the 3. She's got the basketball IQ, battle for the loose ball. Pinnock chasing it down. There's Culver, and she will fall out of bounds.
I love the speed that Culver plays at. You can see why she's a first teamer all city.
And Spellman even jokes about Mullen told Terrence, hey, listen, last year she drew a couple of charges in a game. That's the first time a Mullen's ever done that. At least on purpose, he said.
Right. The last 2 words, very important.
Yes. And here is Callie making her own name for herself. To Lanier. Pinnock, an excellent on-ball defender. Here's Carbonaro. And again, goes strong to the hole. She hits the floor hard. If this was a boxing match, I don't know, they might call for a second to see if she's all right there, and they have a few times. Alyssa Hines underneath doesn't finish, but she's fouled by Mullen, and that is her third. So 3 quick ones on Mullen, and that would obviously, at least for now, she's still in, but that would take away a big part of, again, what she does best.
No, I'm with you. And decision time for Spellman, which not an easy thing to do, but he's going to keep Mullen in momentarily. At some point in the year, Dylan, you have to trust your players. You have to trust them not to pick up their 4th foul, even if it's with just under 7 minutes left in the first half.
And Hines, who averages just over 4 points a game, goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here's Carbonaro, and again, she doesn't know how to go slow. Intercepted by Culver. Pinnock!
Great roll of the basket for Pinnock.
6 already for the freshman Pinnock, and it's a 4-point lead for the Lady Royals. Here's Lanier. Oh, gets right by Vacosa.
Lanier's really impressed me, too. Only a junior. Can't wait to see what offers she gets at the next level.
And you wonder with her size, right? She's only 5'4". But Mark Spellman was saying, perhaps those Nescacs, right? Like both she and Carbonaro, nice jumper in the lane by Culver. They could really do damage at that kind of level.
Well, that's the thing, too. Xaverian, a high academic school, and a lot of these players making their extracurricular activities just that, extracurricular, a good experience, but she's really got a chance to play at the next level.
Lanier drives in, foul called. And again, it was one of those nervy moments, I think, for Mackey and his staff, because Vacosa was there in that territory, but it goes to Pinnock, her second.
Yeah, and so Pinnock will head to the bench, and you're right, you have to gasp. And don't think Xaverian doesn't know that Vacosa's got 2 fouls.
Lanier's first free throw off the mark.
That's been by design, as you go right at Vacosa, and yeah, that's Pinnock with the reach-in.
And the second is good. Sometimes because you are the biggest player on the court, you don't get, the call is kind of, you might not be you affecting that play, but sometimes you get those wrongful fouls called. Fortunately there, that was not the case. Culver the runner! Count it!
What a move by Culver. Some separation, pretty little teardrop in the finish. Taking what the defense is giving her. Good shot here. Little hezzy. Oh, so pretty.
Second foul on Carbonaro. And Culver completes the 3-point play. She's got 9. And it's a 19-13 lead for the Royals. Good double and steal. Here comes Culver. Nearly lost it. Still tries to get out of her feet. Vacosa, good and one pass. Smith's 3, no good. Chasing down the rebound was Kemp in the lane. Off glass, no good. Vacosa rips it down, and she is fouled.
Tough stretch of rebounding for Xaverian. Couldn't get it done, and you know what? There's not much you could do when Vacosa's got the ball that close to the basket. But they call it on the floor, and a fresh 30 for the Royals.
Grimaldi picked up her first. Next foul by Xaverian will send the Lady Royals to the line. Big time move by Vacosa, back rim, no good. And look at Culver. Culver, back rim, no good. Chases down the rebound.
Good hands by Sierra.
Yeah, now it gets it to Lanier. Lanier drives at Vacosa. Vacosa sends it back. Return to sender. Ahead of the field was Kemp, and she was fouled on her way there. Foul by Sierra, her first, team's 5th, and this will send Skyla Kemp to the line. Kemp has a couple of double-doubles to her name this year. the extra attention that Vicosa gets, Kemp is one of those who benefits from that, as a timeout was called by Xaverian.
And, that's the pedigree of a winning team, Dylan, too. When you've got everybody locking in on Vicosa and she could still be the player that she is, that allows everyone else to succeed and do well. So, obviously, Vicosa, a big reason why, Christ the King's having success, but it's everyone else, too.
We mentioned Christ the King, a pedigree like no other high school in girls basketball. So we asked the impossible question of we asked Joe Albertello before, but we asked it of Bob Mackey. Give us your all-time starting five. Now, this is not all that he's coached. A few of these players were coached by Vinny Cannizzaro, but look, come on. Sue Bird, Shamika Holschool, and Tina Charles are all champions. They're all first picks in the WNBA. And then you got Debbie Hemry and Nakia Hill as well.
Yeah, and the honorable mentions could be an all-time five, too. Sierra Calhoun, Ariel Edwards, shout-out class of 2010.
Karim Gay.
Right. Yep. Dominique Toussaint was great. Sydney Zambrata.
Lady Royals come out in a 2-3 defense. Here's Grimaldi attacking it, splits the two defenders up top, no good, and the rebound tracked down by Hines. Here's Smith. Drives, nice pass down low, Velasquez doesn't get the finish. Here comes Sierra the other way. Lost it, Culver goes ahead of the field to Smith. Doesn't get the finish. And then there's a foul as well. So in addition to the miss, Hines then picks up her second foul of the game. Checking in is Anna Makrios, number 11, the 5'7" senior. Extra pass, 3-ball off the mark by Makrinos, and here's Smith the other way. What a pass down low. Pumping the brakes and finishing Velasquez.
Xaverian gets caught in that man and then doesn't switch over, and that's where Christ the King makes their hay.
Largest lead of this game for the Lady Royals. That's a three that's short. And Christ the King, as they've done for decades, starting to feel like that momentum very much in their way. Culver, back rim and over the top of the backboard. As we'll have multiple substitutions now. Ariel Lopez and Skyla Kemp check in for Christ the King, and Callie Mullen in for the Clippers.
Remember, Mullen with those 3 fouls, too, has to be careful.
Here's Lanier. Usually you get a big at the foul line to attack the 2-3. There is no such big on the Xaverian roster. Layup, too strong. Kemp grabs a rebound among 3 different Clippers. We'll have a jump ball.
Yeah, Dylan, I really like the play of Maya Velasquez, 22 in white for Christ the King, and she's done a good job defensively getting in the lane, causing those disruptions and turnovers, and just a really good job getting up and down the floor, connecting the defense to the offense.
Velasquez, wide open underneath was Kemp.
And Velasquez can find the open shooter too.
12-point lead for the Lady Royals. There's Callie Mullen, hands off, gets it right back. Mullen for 3. Yeah, that's in her DNA.
Boy, did Xaverian need that in the worst way. This game is starting to get out of hand, and Xaverian, if they could get this down to a 5-point Christ the King lead going into the locker room, you consider that a win.
I've always wanted to call Mullen for 3. My first opportunity.
Well, dreams come true.
Yeah. Here's Amanda Smith off the Vacosa screen. Front rim, no good. Bats away at the rebound, but Mullen comes away. Quick outlet to Carbonaro. Oh, an extra step for her.
Extra 3 steps there. That's just one of those where she's caught in indecisiveness and wasn't sure to keep going, pull up. And by that point, had shuffled her feet.
Minute 37 left in the first half. Here's Velasquez. Lopez cuts, and a jump ball forced by Lanier. So it'll be Xaverian ball. I'll tell you, Chris Mullen, one of the reasons that I went to St. John's, and perhaps if I didn't go to St. John's, John, I wouldn't have gotten into a broadcasting career, and I might not be here with you on a Sunday night at Christ the King.
There we go. It's all meant to be.
Foul called against Lopez, her first. Royals fourth. Here's Lanier, works off the screen. Good screen set as well. Lanier drives at Vacosa. Vacosa knocks it out of bounds.
Vacosa didn't even really have to jump to swat that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she needs to really jump even to rebound the ball.
Well, she'll need to go to the bench.
Yeah, Alyssa Hines comes in. Good job there by Mackey and his coaching staff, I think, there as well. Yes, Vacosa's got a couple of fouls, but also you're up by 9 late first quarter. So you can let her sit as a runner in the lane by Carbonaro.
Well, how about Carbonaro after going to the corner, getting taped up, starting to get back into it under a minute to play?
I think defensively for Xaverian, this is a big possession. They can get a stop here. You know, that deficit that was double figures is suddenly sliced down, and Lanier, unlucky, kickball was called.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough break there for Xaverian as Lanier had nothing but daylight going to the basket. Now Xaverian has to earn it.
Yep, 15 on the shot clock, 39 on the game.
Check that. Christ the King gets the ball.
Velasquez hands off to Culver, who just checked back in. Culver to Amanda Smith, a terrific three-point shooter. 3, 2, she heaves it from 3. Oh, and she was hit. A foul was called by referee Kristen Kenny.
That's a tough foul to have in that spot. Like you said, 3 seconds left. See if we get contact by Lanier.
On the arm, no?
Yeah.
So Smith knocks down the first.
It's all about situational basketball, Dylan. You got to know how much time there is on the shot clock, time in the game, especially.
Well, you know who did know that was Amanda Smith.
Right.
Misses the second. This is her third attempt now, and that is good. So Mullen will check back in for Xaverian. The lead back up to 9 for the Lady Royals, who show a little 2-2-1 three-quarter trap here. Mullen to Carbonaro. And again, a turnover for Carbonaro. She got pressured, and then a double dribble. Multiple subs again. Vacosa back in the game for the Lady Royals, and Fideli back in for the Clippers. 15 seconds left in this first half, so the Lady Royals can hold for the last. Here's Amanda Smith. They flash towards her. She loses the ball, and it is Xaverian ball. Good defense there by Grimaldi, and Mullen back in. Little offense-defense substitution for Xaverian with 3.5 seconds left. Lanier shows that basketball IQ, picks it up at half court, tries to get it to Mullen. She will heave the three, and it is short at halftime as the Royals have a 27-18 lead. We are joined here at halftime by Christ the King head coach Bob Mackey. And Bob, what'd you think of the performance there of your team in the first half?
Thought we were a little sloppy at times. I think our defensive rotations looked a little bit off, but we came up with a couple of key plays. Some key players stepped up, and I'll take a lead at halftime. It's a wonderful thing.
I thought one player that actually did well connecting, might not show up on the stat sheet, but Maya Velasquez doing a good job connecting. What can you say?
Both ends of the floor, I thought she was really good defensively, and she really made some good decisions offensively. We needed to step up and make a little bit better passes. One or two good threes would be awesome, but I really liked Culver, the way she played. I really thought Olivia Vicosa was just amazing inside, and playing with 2 fouls most of the quarter was big.
What do you want to see from your players in the second half?
Better defense.
Listen, in a battle of sweater vest coaches, you've won that one already. Let's see if your team wins this game here.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Bob Mackey, the head coach of Christ the King. 27-18 the lead for the Lady Royals. Halftime here of the Brooklyn Queens Tier 1 Championship. We'll take a quick break. We'll return for the start of the second half right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable, and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Varsity Media is offering a video folder that you can customize to meet your needs. A photo of your athlete can be elegantly placed in the front panel. Essential statistics with a biography can be printed on the inside panel, and videos can be downloaded and viewed on an LCD screen for as long as 2 hours. The attractive video folder can be placed on a coffee table and instantly becomes a conversation starter. Order your video folder today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or give us a call at 516-403-2050. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable, and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Varsity Media is offering a video folder that you can customize to meet your needs. A photo of your athlete can be elegantly placed in the front panel. Essential statistics with a biography can be printed on the inside panel, and videos can be downloaded and viewed on an LCD screen for as long as 2 hours. The attractive video folder can be placed on a coffee table and instantly becomes a conversation starter. Order your video folder today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or give us a call at 516-403-2050. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com.
We welcome you back to Christ the King High School. Dylan Butler, John Perez, our entire Varsity Media crew. It's halftime of the Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens championship game, and it's Christ the King with a 27-18 lead at the half. John, an opportunity, as we did in the Archdiocese final, take a look at the Tier 1 All-League and Players of the Year awards, and we mentioned it before, Danielle Williamson from St. Joe's by the Sea. It is a good time to be a Viking, that is for sure. She's the Player of the Year. Josh Suslak, their head coach, is the Coach of the Year. But some terrific representation here on all 3 teams.
100%, and specifically looking at this game too, you get Olivia Bacosa and Ayana Culver, and there you see just a wealth of basketball talent there. A ton of Xaverian Clippers too. I'll tell you what, Dylan, you can mix and match players from the first, second, and third team, and that team wins the city title.
I think so. And there it is, another look.
But yeah, so you get Alexandra Carbonaro and Grace Lanier from Xaverian, so representation as well. And then a couple of other, Brooklyn Queens, St. Francis Prep, Christina Saros, Ariana Davis, and a good year for the Terriers, and of course Alyssa Febreze, Monsignor Scanlon. So a lot of talent across all leagues, and it's been a fun year of girls basketball in the CHSAA.
And the boys as well, right?
Yeah, I'd say so, particularly for that guy.
Brooklyn, listen, I feel like if you win a championship, you've got to show out to kind of anything that's happening, right? Because you're going to get, hey, great job, man, congratulations. That's Veer Anthony of St. Francis Prep. Terriers winning the Brooklyn Queens Championship for the third time in the last 4 years.
No fear in Veer, and I think a lot of teams will be fearing St. Francis Prep.
And this NIL day, you got to get that on a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Scoop layup, no fear for Lopez getting to the hoop.
And she's only a freshman, too. Veteran move. Good job to slip to the basket.
Her first 2 of this game. You got to imagine part of the message from Mark Spellman is, listen, we had a game plan. We got to stick to it and not get out of sorts here. Nice extra pass as it's Kemp with the layup. The pass came from Lopez.
The most indefensible pass to block is the bounce pass, and it started with Kemp, finished off by Lopez.
Culver led the way for the Lady Royals with 9, but a lot of different scores, and that's the way Christ the King plays this year. Yes, Vicosa, as Carbonaro goes baseline, Vicosa's the star, right? No question about it, but you get contributions all across the board for Christ the King. 6 different scores in that first half, and outside of Culver's 9, it's pretty balanced with Pinnock with 6 and Kemp with 5 and Velasquez with 4.
Good block by Carbonaro on.
Off the mark, but there's a foul on that rebound.
Everybody loves the ankle breaker moves. You got to finish it, though. That's always how it is. But either way for the Royals, they'll get to the free throw line.
Not on social media, though. It doesn't matter. You cut the clip.
Oh, yeah. No, and everyone with TikTok, they know the angles. They know what sells.
Velasquez knocks down the first.
With a dumb caption, too. It just like handles.
Maya knocks down both free throws. She averages 6 points per game. And here's Lanier. That lead has now ballooned to 13 for Christ the King. It's response time for Xaverian. Ball deflects out to Sierra. Lanier and a traveling violation. These turnovers have been deadly for the Clippers.
Yeah, and unforced, too. And I'm not sure if Christ the King has just gotten to their heads or what it is, but Xaverian, a team that usually pretty disciplined and doesn't turn the ball over.
Here's Culver to Velasquez. A deep 3 from the other side of Metropolitan Avenue, it looked like, for Culver, and then a foul was called on Kemp. I don't think we announced the officials earlier. Shanesha Franklin, Kia Hicks, and Kristen Kenny. As it's Lanier. And it's funny, after such a high-charged Archdiocese final, John, it feels like a sleepy BQ game, and I think that's advantage Christ the King because they have this double-digit advantage.
Oh, right, and they want to slow it down. They're defending the ball well, and they're not letting Xaverian get any open looks, and because of that, they're forcing bad shots and playing right into the game plan for the Royals.
Lanier from the baseline. Oh, Vicosa. Get out of here. Here's Culver ahead of the field. Scoop layup is good.
Nice job running the floor by Culver. That's been the Christ the King Express so far. Vicosa over to Culver.
I thought it's the M train out here.
It is the M train, which runs when it wants to.
Well, Lopez is out and running when she wants to. She gets the finish. What a start to this third quarter for Christ the King. It'll be a 30-second timeout for Xaverian.
Well, here's the young freshman in Lopez going to the basket. Nice scoop layup, and boy, she's playing well beyond her years. I've been really impressed by Ariel Lopez's play tonight.
You see Bob Mackey there. We talked to him at halftime. What a journey it's been for him to get here to Middle Village, Queens. He actually technically started his coaching career while he was at Oneonta High School. That was at Oneonta Senior High School back in 1982. He then went to Talentine High School. Some terrific basketball players came out of there, but when the school closed, he kind of was at a fork in the road. What does he do now? He's an out-of-work coach and teacher as well, and Vinny Cannizzaro called him up and said, listen, I'd like to have you on my staff. And he's like, I haven't coached girls. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. And man alive, has it worked out for him. Spent 9 years as Cannizzaro's assistant, and he's a 3-time USA Today All-USA Girls High School National Coach of the Year. Won that award in 18, in 06, and 05, in his 23rd year as head coach. How many career wins does he have? Who knows? He's not going to give that number up. That's how humble Mackey is as well, as Culver tries to get to the cup.
You know, and he was a biology teacher, too. He didn't take the easy way out and be a gym teacher and just hang around all day, wait till practice.
Yeah, and honors chemistry as well. Here's Lanier, Velasquez. And, of course, Mackey recently mourning, as the entire girls basketball community has, the loss of Vinny Cannizzaro, who on January 27th died at the age of 82 following a battle with cancer. Mackey has been the caretaker of this program, but Vinny Cannizzaro was the architect.
100%. And remember going to all these Christ the King games, seeing Vinny, and it's a big loss for the Christ the King community.
He stayed connected even after he stepped down as head coach. Here's Vicosa with 10. The kick out, it's fired almost into the crowd, but after he coached, he was a Stony Brook assistant for a few years, but then after that, ran the Vincent Cannizzaro National Recruiting Report as well. 456 wins for Cannizzaro in his 19 years as Christ the King head coach. And a lot of those players in Mackey's all-time 5, Sue Bird and Shamika Holskull especially, Debbie Hemery and Nakia Hill, they were all coached by Vinny Cannizzaro, who is a retired police detective before he found his ultimate calling here as the Christ the King head coach. And how about this, too? Cannizzaro actually coached Mackey when Mackey was in 7th grade. Here's Lanier off the turnover. Swings and they try to go baseline. That's not happening. Look at the feet by Vicosa, showing her athleticism. Now she's out guarding the post. Vicosa forces the jump ball.
Good active hands by Vicosa. And, you know, she's not just somebody who has the size and just puts her hands up. I mean, she really forces defensive plays and does a great job. Still young, and tell you what, she'll make some school happy at the next level.
Yeah, there is no shortage of offers and interest for Olivia Vicosa. And Bob Mackey, listen, if you know Bob Mackey as you do, as I do, he's not prone for hyperbole. He says you can put Vicosa, as she goes up hard and goes down even harder, right up there with the best bigs of all time at Christ the King.
Yeah, she's certainly got that potential, a high ceiling, and with a program that just has a rich tradition like Christ the King, maybe she cracks that top 5 when it's all said and done. You never know.
That's certainly a possibility. And
you know, especially with the way that the game is developed, too, where bigs are expected to shoot threes. I really don't remember Tina Charles being a lockdown three-point shooter, Shamika Holskull like that either. So, you know, that's just another added element as the game has evolved over the years.
And Mackey says, yeah, she's in that class of Tina Charles and Karim Gay, Shamika Holskull, and Nakia Hill. also an honor roll student, almost a 100 average for Olivia Vicosa. True definition of a student athlete. A 19-point lead for the Lady Royals. Steal by Smith. She navigates and kicks out, but Pinnock wasn't cutting that direction.
Yeah, and a little frustration there by Christ the King. A rare miscue for the Royals.
As there's Lanier. Pinnock picks her up full court. Excellent defender, Josie Pinnock. Another no fear type of player. Mullen bobbled that ball, and that resulted in a traveling violation. Xaverian has only scored 2 points in this third quarter.
Yeah, and I think if you would have told Bob Mackey yesterday that Xaverian only has 20 points with a minute and a half left in the third quarter, he'd say, you're kidding me. There's no way. But it's been a combination of good defense by Christ the King and a lot of unforced errors for the Clippers.
Velasquez steps back, buries the triple.
Good shot by Velasquez with some space. Drills it.
A 15-2 run here in the third quarter. It's where the separation has happened for the Royals, and that's a tough basket inside by Victoria Gatto. Her first bucket.
Yeah, you know, Gatto, a player, 5'8" sophomore, strong, physical, two-sport athlete, plays soccer too. Good athletic move in there, and Xaverian needed a bucket in the worst way, down by 20, and you just have to build any sort of momentum that you can over the final 58.8 seconds and try and do what you can in the fourth quarter against Christ the King.
One thing that Mark Spellman told us in our call with him yesterday was he mentioned culture and how big that is for him, and it's not just a word that they bandy about at Xaverian, it's a belief. And he says he wants his program to be one where all the girls and all the levels are together. They support each other. There's a common language. They run similar things as well. And Spellman, again, as we said, 5th year as the head coach of these girls, but previously spent 12 years with the boys. Varsity B, freshman where he won a championship, was a varsity assistant for Jack Alisi. He played for Jack Alisi, played for Bob Alisi, the school president, when he was a freshman as well. Steal by Carbonaro. Drives at Pinnock. Carbonaro gets the layup. That's what you like off a timeout. And at this point, if you are the Clippers, final 30 seconds, yeah, listen, the deficit is 18 at this point, but you can only score 2 and 3 at a time. You got to chip away and get a stop on this side. Here's Smith. Goes baseline, doubled, kicks it out. 8 on the shot. Good ball movement here to Velasquez. Drives past Mullen. Will that be a jump ball? It will be. So good defense by the Clippers. Ball will stay with Christ the King as Culver checks back in for Velasquez.
In 1 second, catch and shoot for Christ the King.
And they will not get it. It'll be a shot clock violation right at our table here.
Director Chris Sweeney with cat-like reflexes all over it.
I wasn't sure if he was trying to knock the ball away or just keep his equipment safe.
Oh, there he is, setting everything up. We return to the action.
Mullen for 3 again. It was a nightmare of a third quarter for the most part, but a good end of it for the Clippers. Can they utilize that end of the third quarter and maybe have a miraculous comeback in the fourth? We'll find out when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Christ the King High School. Dylan Butler, John Perez. It's been a championship afternoon to this point for the Lady Royals. We saw their JV team earlier win a nail-biter with Malloy. And now the varsity Lady Royals looking to make it a double here this afternoon.
Yeah, that was head coach Emma Kiley getting the victory for her team, and the celebration was on, which seems like a lifetime ago with the way that this night has been going. But congratulations to those Royals there, and now the varsity squad trying to capture another title.
Yeah, the titles, if they were individual banners for the championships, I don't know if you'd fit it in this large gym. There's 29 Brooklyn Queens championships, 29 Catholic City championships. Pinnock ahead of the field for 2. By the way, not done with all the trophies. 16 New York State Catholic championships, 15 Federation championships, including a remarkable 11 in a row. 10 of those won by when Canizaro was the head coach, and Mackey got the last. And there were some really, you had Murray Bertram.
Yep.
Ed Grzinski's team was a perennial powerhouse. Those battles were so much fun. It was a nice rivalry that built between the two of them. They played an epic game at the Garden, I remember, with Tina Charles getting a late basket to give Christ the King the win. And then Nazareth became the rival a bit. And here's Mullen for 3. Another bucket.
Good stroke there by Mullen with some space, and don't look now, Dylan. It was once a 20-point game down to 14. You start to build some momentum defensively and hit your shots. Xaverian's still in it.
All 3 of Mullen's baskets have been from beyond the arc. Velasquez, they go inside to Vicosa, back outside. Here's Pinnock into the lane, and she was fouled.
I like the fearlessness that Josie Pinnock plays with, going in amongst the bigs. Not afraid to get to the line. Take another look as Pinnock head down, goes to work. She was an all-league selection.
And she's knocked down key shots, key games. When we spoke with often this year, St. Francis Prep boys head coach Jimmy Lynch says, sometimes I forget that certain players are actually younger, and Pinnock is kind of like that for Bob Mackey.
Yeah.
Who says that sometimes she plays like a senior.
Well, listen, she comes from a great basketball family and lineage as well, as taught basketball at a young age. And yeah, that's the only knock against her, is that she's young. I think a lot of coaches will take that, and they'd love to have 4 years of Pinnock.
Yeah, Mom Joanne, a terrific coach as well during her time, and now in an administrative role with the Catholic League. And Uncle Joe Arbitello, we know all about him, of course. Listen, after her playing days, I think she'd make a pretty good coach.
That's a long way down the road, but I'm with you.
Here's Culver, guarded by Lanier. She goes up and under to Vicosa. Good ball movement. Velasquez for 3. Back rim, no good. Vicosa chases after it, but it will be Xaverian ball. Mackey asking referee Kristen Kenny for her help on that call. Not happening. Here's Lanier across midcourt. Mullen wants it. Again, she's feeling a little bit, but it's taken away. Here's Velasquez. Drives right at Mullen, and Mullen has to kind of let her go with those 3 fouls she has. It'll be Christ the King ball underneath. as they do all year. Christ the King, Culver, high arcing three. Oh, well, that's not going to be good because it hit the top of the backboard, but
Good horse shot.
yeah, I'm not going to make that one. She'll get the H on me. But Mackey, oh, good hustle from behind by Lopez. It leaks out, though. First missed three by Mullen. And again, terrific hustle. That's Lopez again, John. She is all over it.
Yeah, no, she's only a freshman. And, you could say the same thing about her that you're saying about Pinnock. And plays well above her years. And just how about the experience, too? And sometimes you get lucky going into a class like this where there's not a lot of veterans on the roster. So you're going to play. And if you practice well and having a good week of practice, you'll get a ton of experience, and that's only going to help you moving forward.
Mullen looks to drive baseline, kicks it back out to Carbonaro. Now it's Mullen from her sweet spot, off the rim, no good. Rebound, goes to Culver. Battled among two bigger Clippers, ahead to Vacosa.
Vacosa moving so well in transition. Now Mark Spellman gets teed up. He's been in the officials' ear the entire time. And it's just been a frustrating night for Xaverian.
Yeah, Mark Spellman, as we take another look. Right at you, here comes Vacosa.
What a pretty feed. Great bounce pass down low, too.
So, as you mentioned, Spellman, the tech, and Vacosa will shoot free throws. As the assistant coaches for both teams having some words. Interesting here.
Well, that's not an assistant coach on
before
the Christ the King bench. Yeah, that's
there was we won't name some of these, but
right. No, I'm with you. Either way, you got to have cooler heads.
And that's exactly that's why Bob Mackey's in his 23rd year as a head coach, looking for cooler heads to prevail here in the final 4:58 of this fourth quarter. What we mentioned, we were starting to say before when we spoke with Bob Mackey leading into this game, he said, listen, I didn't expect my team to have a record that we have, 23-3. And then he said, that said, it could have been better. And the Xaverian loss in overtime said we missed some shots down the stretch. We didn't perform offensively as we should have. They had a loss at St. Joe's C where they had the ball with 32 seconds left, down by 4. Again, bad decisions down the stretch. St. John's College, DC, that was the first game of the year. There was 90 seconds left. It was a 2-point ball game. They knocked down a 3, and an ill-advised shot for Christ the King. Another 3 by St. John's College, and you lose by 8. But he said there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And again, he's a teacher both on the court and in the classroom, so he knows all about that. But he says he's got some good young players, some seniors. There's good balance among his team. Lopez for 3, no good. Here's Carbonaro the other way. Nice pass to Lanier.
Good job of Lanier fighting her way through traffic to get to the hole. She's been really impressive, Lanier.
Double digits now for Lanier. 11 for her. Vacosa, that's short.
I mean, hey, why not? You've got a lead. You're the best player on the floor. I know most coaches will shake their heads.
2-2-1 right now. 3-quarter court press for the Lady Royals. Broken well by Xaverian. Oh, miscommunication. Lanier still finds it. Tries to knock down a 3. It's no good. And here's Lopez. Lopez accelerates, gets to the hoop. Count it! Culver.
Love the drive in Culver's game. Flying to the basket. Just watch the explosiveness. Starts with Lopez.
Here's the handoff.
Just rolling downhill past Lanier. Count it and one.
Fourth foul by Lanier. And the free throw is good. $12 for Culver. And that lead is back up to 19 points. We mentioned in the open as Lanier's jumper is good. That loss for Christ the King in overtime in Bay Ridge had just happened. You got to figure that worked wonders for the Lady Royals as they found out on Friday night that they were facing the Clippers again.
Yeah, you could only imagine what that week of practice was like, too, after a loss and keying up some things. And these players probably wanted Xaverian in this game again, and they got their wish.
Yeah, listen, Bob Mackey said it in our conversation, right? Losses in February are good, he thinks, because it helps maybe hit that reset button and helps maybe regain that focus into the second season. What a pass. Thundered in by Vacosa. And the finish by Hines.
I'll tell you what, Christ the King has looked focused tonight. Whatever that reset button was, it's worked in bunches.
And for Mark Spellman, it's a... Listen, he had a really tough stretch down the end of the regular season where he played Christ the King and Nazareth and Scanlon. But liked the response from his team and felt like they were ready for this challenge. And even though it would appear, as they're down 21 here with just over 2 minutes left, that they will not win this championship, says that his team isn't defined by the championships won. They've proven in a short time they are among the elites in the Catholic League.
100%. And, you know, Xaverian just not getting the breaks this way, but Christ the King just locking all the hatches, hitting all the, the one rare miss there. Sometimes it's just not your night, Dylan.
Well, it wasn't Spellman's Saturday, as in our conversation with him, he was getting a tire patched. His team has, unfortunately for him, has hit a pothole or two here as well in their quest for a first championship.
Well, now just one last demerit here. Christ the King, but either way, they have to be happy with their effort. Another championship for the Royals.
Yeah, 30. This will be the 30th Brooklyn Queens Championship. Runner in the lane, no good. Vacosa, and now Bob Mackey will bring in subs. Realizing this one is in the books. Mullen off the mark. Vacosa brings it down. You wonder if there'll be a quick timeout called here by Mackey just to allow his substitutions to come in.
Yeah, looks like they're still going to run a play, but either way, now a standing ovation from the home crowd. Christ the King has earned this. They've done a great job. Dotting all the I's, crossing the T's, and perhaps one last bucket.
They'll take that corner jumper. It's off the mark, and I think, unfortunately, some of these players won't have the opportunity. No, maybe now they will. Here we go. Subs for Christ the King. You get the likes of Ayanna Smith and Nayeli Rivera into the game. Also checking in Destiny Davis. So a chance for players maybe who don't get that regular opportunity, right, to be on the court at the end of a championship game. That's a special feeling.
100%. You know, they're through the battles every day, too. Go to practice, make each other better, hold each other accountable. So a nice little moment for them.
For the 30th time in school history, Christ the King are Brooklyn Queens champions. True royalty here in Middle Village. 55-34, the final score. The Lady Royals are the Tier 1 Brooklyn Queens champions.
Good effort from start to finish for Christ the King. Congratulations to them and Bob Mackey, the entire crew. And, you know, we mentioned the surprise at that record, but they played like the best team in Brooklyn Queens tonight and got it done in all facets. And another banner or another trophy for Christ the King.
Another trophy, another chance to put a year down, right, on the banner that they do have. So we'll await here the awards presentation, and we'll figure out a player that will join us here post-game.
Well, you could go a multitude of ways. I thought Ayanna Culver was really good offensively. Did a good job, of course. Vakoza gets overlooked because everybody is always looking at her. So when she's not with the ball, you know, she did a lot of things very well off the ball as well. So a couple of nominations there. But I think Ayanna Culver today just led the way for Christ the King.
Culver finishes with 14 points for the Lady Royals as the Clippers get the runner-up plaques. Not the award they wanted, but listen, in a league that has Nazareth and the Mary Lewis Academy and St. Francis Prep and Malloy, like, that's a good trophy to have as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's not easy in Brooklyn, Queens at all. And it's not easy to get to this game. Let's remember, this is not a Xaverian team that has a long history. They're building it right now. So to even get to these finals is a huge feat, Dylan, and I wouldn't be surprised that maybe in a decade's time, it's Xaverian's world with what they have going on down in Bay Ridge.
I mean, their success athletically among the multiple girls programs has been very good in a very short period of time.
And it just shows the athletes, too, obviously, that live in Brooklyn, Bay Ridge, staying close to home, good academic institution.
And now Christ the King will get their awards. And you can see, too, from the players, like, you know, they haven't won 29 previous Brooklyn Queens championships.
No.
For some of them, this is their first, so you can see how much it does, in fact, mean to them.
Well, and there's a lot of relief, too, that goes into a championship. And everyone likes to talk about David, right? Christ the King has been Goliath forever in Brooklyn, Queens, and in New York City when it comes to girls basketball.
You can go beyond that.
There's
State,
right,
country.
Right. There's a sense of relief for winning, too, and a different type of pressure. And when they're able to win, it's still special for them, too. You know, you're going against some of the best players in not just school history, but league history when you put on that jersey. So this means something to them, and obviously Vakoza, the exclamation point and center point for Christ the King.
And now Bob Mackey will come out, and while his players maybe haven't done this a lot before, he has. And you got to imagine this doesn't get old for Bob Mackey.
No, and it's always special. You see the smile on their faces. That's what you go to work for every day.
24-3, and the Lady Royals are not done. They've got a city and a state championship to contend for. And that's what it means there. You see the name in there. It's the Claire Droche Memorial award for the late, great former Lady Royal. And in our conversation about all-time greats, she's right up there as well. Unfortunately lost her battle to cancer, but her memory is very much alive with that trophy.
Oh, she's definitely smiling down now, too, on Christ the King, and yeah.
So one more championship picture. Read Bob Mackey's lips, said, wow. I think he's even surprised by this.
Well, in the fashion that they won, too. That's a big sigh of relief. And, you know, this is a year where he said he was surprised at the record, surprised at the effort. Hey, they could all be pleasant surprises, especially when you win.
So you can hear the collective yells of 30. They know the number, that is for sure. And we'll hopefully have Culver here momentarily, as the players made a beeline towards their locker room. And while we have a second, a reminder again, too, we are home for the CHSAA boys playoffs going forward. The A and the B championships will be Friday night from Rose Hill at Fordham University. You and Oliver Antigua will have the call for that one, and then we go on to the AA quarterfinals, which will be Sunday. All 4 games on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and then the semifinals and the finals as well. All of those games here on Varsity Media. You can hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Varsity Media. It'll be a busy time for us at Varsity Media. In addition to the City Boys playoffs, we'll have Nassau County playoffs as well. So yeah, it'll be a busy stretch for us here.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sports Network.
Yeah, no, Dylan, it's going to be a lot of fun, and this is the best time of the year too. Everyone talks about the wars that you have to go through in December and January, but when it comes to late February and March, there's no better place to be. Obviously in the playoffs, playing for what you think is obviously one of the top titles, and that's exactly what you go to work for every day. And it's going to be a lot of fun to be a part of it on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And if you haven't already, start subscribing. You don't want to miss out on the action.
Before we get Culver, wanted to thank Joanne Pinnock, as well as Denise Hellig, and all those in charge here of the Girls Catholic League for allowing us to broadcast these championship games as well.
No, they did a great job, and finally this long day coming to an end as we get our player of the game all set up now.
Yeah, it is Ayanna Culver. She's here with us, and Ayanna, this number, you guys clearly knew. This is number 30. We heard you loud and proud. How special is this, a 30th Brooklyn Queens championship?
This is really special. Just the legacy before us, playing for the name on our shirt, this means a lot to us, that this is our 30th championship. We leaving a legacy here.
For you specifically, what does it mean to put on that jersey, and what expectations do you have of yourself when you wear a Christ the King uniform?
It's a lot of expectations. I'm playing for the people that played before me. I'm trying to stand up to their legacy and just continue it on.
You had just lost to this Xaverian team in overtime in Bay Ridge, a game where you guys didn't execute down the stretch. I'd imagine in a lot of ways that was probably a good loss, because when you realized Xaverian had beaten Nazareth, a chance for you guys to maybe right what went wrong there in Brooklyn.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes fixed this game from last game. We did a lot of transition, a lot of defense, picked up our defense and pressure a lot.
Well, Ayanna, I know obviously you got school in the morning. It's a long day. Tell me about some of the difficulties you guys might have had early on and how you got over that hurdle to get out to a quick start.
We did a lot of running, in practice, a lot of pressure from our coaches, all three. Everybody on the outside, that really helps us on the inside. And we got through it this year.
Well, 14 big points in a championship game. Congratulations for this one. And we know the road isn't over yet. You're chasing more hardware here.
Yes, sir.
In the postseason. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ayanna. So that's Ayanna Culver for Christ the King. And Oh, look at this. She's got a friend with her as well. There is the championship brought by Bob. In fact, let's get Bob here as well if we get a chance.
Bob, let's put a headset on you too, because I know that this is obviously.
That's an assist.
Yeah.
That's an additional assist for Ayanna Culver. And you could see too. You could see the trophy here, the Claire Droche Memorial Trophy, and it just feels fitting here, Bob, that it stays in-house. 30th, one of these. You've been a part of so many of them. How does this feel?
It's good to have her back in the family, and it really is. I mean, Claire meant a lot to a lot of people. I knew her since she was an infant, and it's still not something that you get over, because losing somebody so vibrant, so young, so tragic. She fought a great fight, and we miss her every day. There's not much else you can say, but she impacted a lot of young ladies and changed the game for us, and I thought it was appropriate. The league thought it was appropriate to name the trophy after her, and we brought her home.
What specifically from her memory and just getting to know her over the years has made you a better coach?
Before I left my house this morning, I'm looking at my dining room table. Claire spent a lot of time at that dining room table doing homework, going over stuff, going over things, and got her to Boston College, got her coaching, playing overseas. Just a great young lady, great young woman who lived life to the fullest and was really something very special to everybody here.
The 30th one of these, and the
I don't think anybody's ever done 30. I don't know. Maybe you guys are a little smarter than me.
We are not, and we're not even going to bother trying to chase that down. We're going to just assume that it is the most for any program. But you said to us in our conversation leading up to this week, you were surprised at the record, thought even could have been better. Some execution down the stretch in a few games there, but I even saw in the line, you kind of mouthed, "Wow!" Like, does this one even surprise you?
That one surprised me. I thought we played well, but I was like, "Wow, we have another gear," and we did. We found the other gear. It was great, and the staff was amazing this year. The kids were amazing, and just the support, the administration. I mean, when your principal's the boys' coach, it really does make a difference. He was tremendous. Joe's been tremendous this year, and these guys have been outstanding. So it's just been a great year.
I know the year's not over yet, but as of right now, what do you feel is the defining moment, or what are you going to remember the most about this team and what you like about their character?
The way they all got along, and they all got along, which was really hard to do with a bunch of teenagers. So we're really looking forward to enjoying this for the moment tonight, get a couple of pictures, and get back to work tomorrow.
Well, Bob, we know you have a long ride out to Smithtown, but this will be
good.
an enjoyable one.
It'll be a nice ride.
And listen, from Claire Droche's memory, of course, Vinny Cannizzaro, we know that he's looking down as well, enjoying this 30th Brooklyn Queens Championship as well.
For you, Mr. C, thank you.
There you go, Bob
Thanks,
Mackey.
guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations and best of luck going forward as well. So big win for the Lady Royals, another championship, and you could tell, John, one that because the name on the trophy is more emotional and perhaps more meaningful to this group than others.
I think the biggest thing about Bob Mackey is he is Christ the King. As much as he doesn't like the accolades, the awards, the notoriety, that is who he is. And it's because he gets to coach players like Claire and Miss Vicosa and the impact that he makes on their lives. He's a first-class citizen, a gentleman, a scholar. He makes everybody around him better, and it's hard not to root for a guy like that.
Can't say it any better than you just did, so that'll do it here for us from Christ the King in Middle Village, the Lady Royals. Congratulations on winning the Brooklyn Queens Championship, and best of luck going forward as well. For our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director, Chris Sweeney, for Travis DeLuise, Ron Pierre, bringing you all the moving images, John Perez, my broadcast partner, I'm Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us from Middle Village. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.